Was Sauron truly a necromancer? That's the name he bore when he hid in the shadows of Dol Guldur. But was it just a name, or something far darker? Welcome to a journey through Middle-earth's hidden past, where truth and myth entwine, and the shadow of the Dark Lord stretches across ages. When Gandalf left Bilbo and the dwarves outside Mirkwood, he spoke of a necromancer, a dark figure gathering power. We know now, and Gandalf knew then, that this necromancer was none other than Sauron himself. Recovering his strength in secret, he used that title to conceal his identity, and to strike fear into every heart that dared to question. Even in the Shire, whispers of the necromancer were known. Gandalf once said, "Even you, Bilbo, have heard tales of that black sorcerer." But here lies the question, was it only a name? Or did Sauron truly practice the dark art of necromancy, the mastery of death itself? Sauron's evil was vast, forging rings of power, commanding armies of orcs. But these were acts of domination, not resurrection. So was he truly a necromancer, or merely a lord of deceit? To answer that, we must go back to the earliest visions of Tolkien's world. Sauron's form and purpose evolved through decades of thought. In the beginning, he was known as Thu, a shadow lord who ruled hosts of phantoms and wandering ghosts. He was, in those ancient tales, explicitly called a necromancer. Now, to understand what that means, we must glimpse into Tolkien's theology, his laws of spirit and flesh. He spoke of the Fea, the spirit, and the Hroa, the body. A body could die, but the spirit would endure. Some spirits refused to pass on. They lingered, unbodied, filled with bitterness, envy, and regret. And those who sought to command such spirits, to bend them to their will, were committing one of the gravest evils in all of Arda. Such deeds belonged to Morgoth, and those who practiced them became known as the necromancers, the servants of Sauron. For Sauron himself was their master. He enslaved wandering spirits, bound them in torment and servitude, and he taught his followers to do the same. The Witch King of Angmar, his greatest lieutenant, commanded spirits to inhabit the Barrow Downs. The Barrow-wights were born from that foul craft. In the Silmarillion, Sauron is described as a sorcerer of dreadful power, master of shadows and phantoms, foul in wisdom, cruel in strength, twisting what he touched. He was also called Lord of Werewolves, but Tolkien's werewolves were not men cursed by the moon. They were wolves infused with dark, enslaved spirits. And then came the Ringwraiths. Bound to the 9 rings, their bodies faded, their spirits chained to Sauron's will, undead, eternal, and enslaved. When Merry struck the Witch King, he shattered that spell, the unholy bond that stitched spirit and shadow together. The Nazgul were not merely servants. They were souls imprisoned by Sauron's necromancy. Even the 2 Watchers, those eerie statues guarding the gates of Cirith Ungol, were said to contain dreadful spirits of evil vigilance. Not poetic language, but literal truth. Sauron trapped those spirits within stone, turning sentinels into living curses. And what of the dead marshes? The faces in the water, pale and haunting. The remnants of an ancient battle, their souls held fast by Sauron's magic. More necromancy, death, bound and twisted by power. Though Sauron's name was not yet spoken in The Hobbit, Tolkien later confirmed that the necromancer was indeed him, even in those early drafts. From the very beginning, Sauron was meant to be the master of spirits, the enslaver of the dead. He could not create life. Only Iluvatar could do that, but he could corrupt it. He took the spirits of the fallen and bound them to places, beasts, and bodies, forcing them to serve his endless will. Such was his evil. Such was his mastery. Sauron was not merely a necromancer. He was the necromancer, the lord who conquered death, not by defying it, but by enslaving it.